Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. My name is Saanvee, and today I'm going to be talking about the dangers of laziness. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Terry. She was physically active and she'd always play outside. She was also very selfless. But her brother, whose name was Tammy, was a couch potato and he lived a very sedentary life. He would eat, sleep, wake up, and eat again. All the elders told him that he will be fat and will have problems later in life. But did he listen? No. He kept eating and sleeping and eating and sleeping, and then over time, at the age of 30, he weighed about 500 pounds. And as soon as he took one step, he was too exhausted to take another. He can't even fit through the door. Can you imagine that? Well, whereas Tammy is living a miserable life, Terry, on the other hand, is very happy and is living a very healthy life. Poor Tammy had developed heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and he was obese even at his young age of 30. Did you know a few months ago, Tammy died of a heart attack? Well, what do you think was the single cause of Tammy's miserable life and early death? It was laziness. What are the symptoms of laziness? Make sure that you don't have any of these. Are you consistently being late to your classes? Do you think that wasting time is a good thing? Do you love watching TV continuously? Do you sleep more than necessary? Does your body feel sluggish, slow, like a sloth? Are you feeling dull? Do people complain that you're careless all the time? Are you procrastinating your work instead of doing it as soon as it's assigned? Do you think that you have plenty of time to do anything you want? Do you feel like having an afternoon nap? If you say yes to any of these, you may be in danger. Please listen to the following. Well, now that you know what causes the laziness, what are the dangers then? All lazy people are at risk of getting about 40 kinds of deadly diseases. Some of them include heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, mental illness, dementia, and several other kinds of cancer. Well, since you know that there are serious health risks of diseases, what are the other dangers then? Well, lazy people live a reduced quality of life. They are unhappy, they tend to get depression, they have pessimism, ignorance, criminal tendencies, and doubt. According to the Bible, lazy people will end up living in poverty. In some religions, laziness is considered a sin and they will be punished in hell. Laziness promotes sedentary living and makes one like a couch potato, just like Tammy. Lazy people die at a young age. Health consultants call them lining for an early grave. Lazy and sedentary living puts one in a health risk very similar to a smoker. Not just anybody, but a smoker. What are the causes of laziness? Well, the primary cause is the food. Thamasic food causes laziness, dullness, and sleepiness. Well then, what are the thamasic foods? The thamasic foods are meat, fish, alcohol, onion, garlic, mushroom, canned food, and frozen food. They are all thamasic. Any food that was cooked and kept for more than 3 hours is also considered thamasic. The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 10, talks about tamasic foods and also who likes to eat them. Yata yamam gatarasam puti puryushajam yat yachishtam apichamedyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. People influenced by the mode of ignorance are pleased by food cooked more than 3 hours before being eaten. They are pleased by food that is cold, foul-smelling, tasteless, putrid, and stale. They are also pleased by food that has been partially eaten and impure. Overeating is also considered tamasic. Except for prasadam, even if one eats sattvic foods but indulges in overeating, that is also considered to give the same effect as tamasic foods. Modern gadgets are great contributors to our laziness. They are agents to your early grave. There are so many gadgets that we live with, such as remote controls. Nowadays, everything from a table fan to a TV comes with a remote control, energy-saving devices, time-saving devices, and ready-to-eat meals. Ready-to-eat meals are the deadliest dangers, as they surely make us utterly tamasic. Never ever eat them. Dr. Richard Whaler and Emil Stamakakis from the famous hospital London once said, "Science and technology are also the main culprits to make us lazy." The third one is our own mind. Well, how can our mind be a culprit of making us tamasic? Well, this is how. As we take different births, we carry our mind from one birth to another with the same past impressions that have gone into our mind. If we are lazy in our previous lives, we will naturally be lazy in this life, unless we take corrective actions to fix it. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 2 explains this nicely. Trivida bhakti vishraddha dehinam swaswabhavaja satviki rajasi chaiva tamasi chetitam shruno. Sri Bhagavan replied, "The faith of human beings is of 3 types, in goodness, in passion, and in ignorance. It arises due to the past life impressions that has been found through collective impressions made upon through one's consciousness and experiences in many other lives." What do our sastras say about laziness then? Well, they say that a tamasic mind is the cause of laziness, carelessness, and sleep. This is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 8. Tamastva anjanam jam vidhi mohanam sarvadehinam parmadalasya nidrabis tannibadanti bharata. O Bharata, know that the quality of darkness, which is born of ignorance, is the cause for the illusion of all living entities. It binds the embodied soul by carelessness, laziness, and sleep. Lazy and tamasic people will end in and be born in an animal kingdom. People with tamasic qualities will get pushed into the lower worlds. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 15, talks about the destination of the tamasic people after they die. Rajasi pralayam gatva karma sangishu jayate tata pralishti tamasi muddayonishu jayate. When one dies in the mode of passion, he takes birth among those engaged in fruitive activities. And when he dies in the mode of ignorance, he takes birth in the animal kingdom. What can we do to get away from this laziness? Well, we can become physically active. By being active, it is found that the risk of sedentary living can be reversed and you can become healthy again. This is great news, so we now have hope. Eat only prasadam, which is purely sattvic. As eating prasadam purifies our mind by making it sattvic, the tamasic nature is completely destroyed. This is a great medicine. Eat only the minimum necessary to keep the body healthy and active. Naturopathy and Ayurveda advise that one should eat only the minimum and keep 1/3 of their stomach always empty. Don't just sit in one place for a long time. Move around, talk to your friends, and engage in an active life. Never, ever, ever eat tamasic food. By mind, eating sattvic food causes our body and mind to become pure. The Bhagavad Gita says this in chapter 17, verse 8. Ayu sattva bala rogya sukha priti vivardhana rasya snigdha sthita hridya ahara sattvika priya. Foods in the mode of goodness increase the duration of your life, purifies one's existence, gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such nourishing foods are sweet, juicy, fattening, and plateable. Chant. Do chanting makes our mind pure and also makes our brain very sharp. The ultimate fruit of Krishna Bhakti comes by chanting and chanting and chanting the holy names of the Lord. When you do Nama Sankirtan, do it loudly. Sing bhajans and Nama Sankirtans, especially loudly, makes our minds so lively and energetic, it removes any trace of sedentary nature. The ultimate way is to simply surrender ourselves unto our Guru, who will pull our impure mind and engage it into devotion to God. In fact, this alone is the most effective way because an expert takes control of ourself. Well then, how did the acharyas and saints live? This will be very interesting to know how our great acharyas and bhaktas lived. Did they have any trace of tamasic qualities in their life? Absolutely no. Every acharya and devotee ate very little food and hardly slept. For example, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami only drank a palm full of buttermilk and was very active the whole day. All our acharyas slept for only 2 to 3 hours and they did walking parikrama of 12 to 15 miles in the morning and in the evening, every single day. They did not waste even a single second, but used the time in their life very wisely in the service of Guru and God. Their lives were beyond sattvic. Sattvic is the highest of the 3 modes of material nature, but they were not under the control of any material nature, such as sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic. They were the Suddha Sattvic level, which is what Krishna consciousness 24 hours a day. In summary, today we learn that living a lazy life is very dangerous and sinful, and that it will cause us to take birth in lower species and force us into the lower lokas. Even as animals, even in this life, with laziness, we run a big risk of health issues. So, laziness is very dangerous. We should never ever eat tamasic food, but only eat pure sattvic food. Prasadam is the best though. Lastly, we learned another great way to change our life for the better. That is to surrender ourselves unto a genuine guru and strictly follow his instructions. In this way, we will be very successful in this life. Thank you and Hare Krishna.